No.
Mike, you good? Everyone good? All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Brennan, and then we'll take questions. Coach?
All right, thanks everybody. I didn't know we got all the action today, huh? All right, thanks for coming. It's good to see everybody. Obviously, this is a big day for Arizona athletics. Casino del Sol, the Pasquayaki tribe, believing in us, believing in Desiree and Tony and Brian Rooney and all the sports programs that are here. That partnership and, just what a great morning we had here. And I think I think it speaks to the momentum. I think it speaks to the excitement about what's happening in Arizona right now. And we are excited because this partnership obviously is something new and it's such a big deal. And it's just great to see everyone here and kind of celebrating and enjoying the moment this morning. I think it's really, really special for us. Coming off a great win at Cincinnati, that was big for us, obviously. Beating a ranked team, a ranked opponent on the road, traveling 2 time zones, and finding a way to play good enough football to get that done was really, really exciting. But as you guys know, that's the last we're going to talk about today because we are well outside the 24-hour window. I'm just kidding. I'm sure you guys will have questions. But anyways, really shifting gears to Baylor, we know that we have an outstanding football team coming in here. Just watching them play, I think our whole team watched that game, their game against Utah on the flight home Saturday night. Just how explosive they are offensively. The quarterback, the receivers, their tight end, Trey, was just such an awesome player. And then Dave Aranda is one of the best defensive coaches in the country. And so we know that we are going to have a big-time battle, like every week in the Big 12. Like that is just what this conference is. And I'm excited because we're playing meaningful games in the month of November. And I think our players have done an incredible job of leaning into Redline and believing in what we're building here as a program. And I love where we're at. And I'm excited to get to practice tomorrow. Obviously, today's a day off for the players, but, it's all of us have got our foot on the gas pedal because this is a special time of year, and we're excited to be involved with such a big-time game this weekend. And that being said, before you ask questions, right, Tucson, University of Arizona, Zona Zoo, we need you this weekend. You guys had a big-time impact in our win over Kansas at homecoming. That was awesome. It was hard on them late in the game. And then you guys gave us incredible energy when we had our clock drive to win it at the end of the game. And so please, Zona Zoo, you guys set the tone for the energy of the football game. You do. So I know it's an early kick, but someone told me long ago you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. And let's get ready to go. It's a big-time day, man. Let's go.
All right, thank you, Coach. We'll start with questions.
I'm going to get in trouble for that one, boy. Woo!
We'll start with Justin and Troy.
As far as like the naming rights deal for Arizona Stadium, how do you think that is going to impact your program just as far as coaching salaries, players, the stadium itself, all that?
That is a huge question, and so I'm going to do my best to answer it, okay? First of all, I think it starts with consistency of leadership. I think that is so important when you're building something. Consistency of leadership. And right now, I think we have great alignment. And I've said that before with President Garamella, with Desiree, and with our coaching staff. And the other head coaches that are here at U of A. You know what I mean? And I think when you shuffle that deck or when you're swapping out coaches and leadership or athletic directors or presidents all the time, it's hard to build any real solid foundation to have something that is, sustainable and consistently successful. In terms of the impact on just football, to me, what I always think in terms of our player experience. And to me, that's one of the things that we have to be the best in the country at. Are our players having a great experience being a part of our program? And obviously, this partnership with Casino del Sol is so impactful in that because it's going to impact how we feed them, how we house them, how we clothe them, how like all those parts of their experience, how we support them, right? How do we support them in the weight room? How do we support them academically? How do we support their mental health? Like all those things are part of it. So I think this is an incredibly impactful thing, and I think it's going to have a great impact on our football program and our athletics department in general.
Troy and then David, and I believe we're using microphone. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, see, let's get you on a microphone. Here we go.
Going to the game, just the defensive turnaround after the first quarter that you guys were able to have, because I think Cincinnati was rushing like 30-something yards that first couple drives, just how you guys were able to turn it around defensively there.
So I think, I give a ton of credit to Coach Gonzalez and our defensive staff, and I think they did a great job of making adjustments and settling down, and obviously it was a big moment. It was a big game, right? We're on the road, ranked opponent. We're, all the way across the country. And, when you do what we do defensively, there's always a little bit of a learning curve of how people are going to attack us early in the game. And I thought our staff did a great job of adjusting to what it was. And then our players did an even better job of responding, right? Because obviously there was, I think Coach G said, there was a chunk of, 8 or 9 runs for like 130 in there. And then after that, we were able to really, really reduce that what that was per carry for the last 2.5 quarters of the game. So I think that speaks to just how good our defensive staff is, those coaches, and then I think it also speaks to our players choosing to respond in the moment and trusting the coaches in that moment.
David and then Michael.
And Brent, and to elaborate on that, how much can you talk about your communication piece in that? I mean, in trying to figure things out, like how to stop the run quickly. Is it as simple as saying, Danny, you got to get another hat down there or something, or is it more technical than that? So
to be honest with you, I stay out of their way a little bit. You know what I mean? Like on game day, those adjustments and those decisions that they're making in real time. The only thing that that I am talking to them about is if I see anything that looks like we're not in the right place. You know what I mean? Like, hey, talk to me about what happened here or whatever. But Danny is so good at seeing it, and he's been calling it on the field for so long that he's able to make real-time adjustments. And normally before I even get to him, he's like, hey, did you see so-and-so? Yeah, he's supposed to be in the B gap, and he wasn't there, and that's why that thing split. And so I think the defensive staff does a great job of problem solving in game.
Michael and then Brian.
You have mentioned many times this idea of people choosing Arizona. Dalton Johnson and Traden Stukes have chosen Arizona multiple times.
Yes.
Whether it's your staff or previous staffs, I mean, they could have left at any point. What has it meant to have those guys stick around for as long as they have and to be playing as well as they have been?
Yeah, both those players are just everything that's right about college football. They work their tails off. They get good grades. They do the right thing. They're leaders on the football team. Like, that part of it is really what we want a University of Arizona football player to be all about. And, I've told you guys before, when we started building this team at the end of last season, or right after last season in the start of January, those were conversations that I had with them, right, with both those guys and others on this team. But it was, how are we going to build this? And we said we're going to build it with tough guys that love football and want to be here at the U of A. And I can't use the exact words that Dalton and Stukes said in that moment, but it was a little more enthusiastic than that. But I think that's one thing that's really special. I know we have a lot of this game Saturday is senior day, and we have a lot of players that are going to be walking out there with their parents and kind of having that moment of their last game in Casino del Sol Stadium. And I think it's important that people support that and show up for that, because when I think about those guys that are walking out there, they're either players that chose to stay when things were really hard here, or they're players that chose to come when things were really hard here. And that speaks to the quality of the University of Arizona, our athletics department, our coaching staff, and the people that are here on our football team.
Brian and then Jason.
This win streak that you're on, and I know you try to keep it one at a time, and there are still games to go, but the performances lately that produce tangible results, is there a feeling of, like, I don't know, redemption is the right word, but just like, this is why we've been putting in all this work, and that people who were maybe doubting when you guys lost the back-to-back games, even though they were close, that this is the fruit of the labor?
I think this team, when we lost those close games, never doubted. They believed in each other. They believed in our staff. They believed in our program. Like, that never wavered. They were steadfast in their belief in what we were doing and where we were going. And for us, it's always a one-week season. That's it. And so right now, we're locked into Baylor because it's the most important game of the year. And that's where our headspace is. So there's not really any We're not spending any time looking backwards or forwards. We're about right now.
Jason and then Justin.
It felt like maybe in this game more than other games, even that's happened before, that the depth showed up, especially when, Tia was out and other players go down near the game. Can you just talk about that depth and how it's allowed you to stay competitive and win games like this?
Well, I think that's in that regard, I mentioned guys choosing to come, right, or choosing to stay. But I think, guys Crowley and Fletcher Kelly and our recruiting staff, and then also the assistant coaches in their evaluations, I think people did a really good job of aggressively attacking that window of the portal last year, and also the high school kids that have contributed, because we've had a bunch of freshmen contribute this year in really, really meaningful ways. And so I think that evaluation process is so important, and it's unique because it happens really fast and the window is really tight. And so you have to make good decisions in a really short time frame. Normally you recruit a high school kid, you recruit him for 18 months, 24 months, sometimes it's a 3-year deal, right? But with the portal players, sometimes that is a 48-hour window. Guys go shorter than that, maybe 15-hour window, And so you're trying to make sure that you're making the best decision possible for the program. And I think those guys did a great job of that, and it gave us a chance to have some more depth on this team. And I think it's showing up because we're playing meaningful games in November, and new players are stepping up and doing great things on game day.
Justin and then Troy.
Tomorrow we're going to talk to Ian Wagner. Do you feel like between the kickoffs and his holding that maybe he's like an unsung hero of this team, and why do you think that is? And just what do you think about just his 1 year at Arizona being a Sierra Vista guy?
Yeah, this team loves Ian. And I think he has been such a great player. Because I think sometimes that gets lost, like you're saying, that gets lost in the shuffle of whoever it is, Noah or Dalton or whoever's playing great, But his impact on the game is tremendous, right? Because of the success he has kicking the ball off and hopefully eliminating the potential for a return from our opponent, and then also how great he's been as a holder. And so I think he's absolutely one of those unsung heroes. But that is not lost on our football team. Everybody on our team knows how important Ian Wagner is, and we love him.
Troy and then David.
Just real quick, your thoughts on Noah's performance during this stretch and throughout the last 3 road games, and then the record breaker having 68 touchdowns in his career.
Okay, there's 6 questions in there, so we're going to rewind, ask it again. Rewind, ask it again, man. There was 10 questions in there.
So just his performance on the road over the last 3 road games, and then also the record breaker, the 68 touchdown mark.
I think it's really special whenever a player breaks a record like that, just because it speaks to his loyalty, because he's chosen to stay. And in order to do that, you have to be, you have to play a lot of football at one place. And I've talked about it on Saturday after the game, and I talk about it all the time, just how special Noah Fida is as a human being, as a player, as a leader. And the loyalty part of him is, it's how he was raised. He's got incredible parents, that part of it just makes him really, really special. And at the end of the day, though, he's, a grown man or a young grown man, and he continues to make the right decisions about, how he's going to carry himself and how he's going to go about his process. And because he's like that, I think that's why you see him performing at a high level on game day. You know what I mean? That consistency of performance. And I think his relationship with Coach Daggy has been really impactful. But I also think that unless Noah really leans into that and attacks that, you don't get that kind of consistency. And so that's what's exciting.
David and then Damien in the back.
Coach, if a fan walked up to you and said, tell me the story of the 99-yard drive at Cincinnati, how would you do that?
Oh, my gosh. Obviously, that was a huge moment in that game, right? Just because, they downed that thing on the 1. Luke he's got coverage on top of him. He's thinking about backstopping it, right? But he doesn't, we trust his decision right there, right? The result is what it is, but you trust the decision because he's a smart player and a super high care factor. So, not making a hasty decision there and not putting the ball at risk or putting the possession at risk, because the possession was so important, right? And so the ball, it started on the 99. When I think about it, I think about the physicality of Ked, in that drive recently, and just because coming off the goal line, the plays were chunks, right? There were, I think, 6. You know, like it was, you know, really, really, really impactful. You know, and then obviously a big play by Hunter, right, on the sideline, just incredible. And so, you know, to me, maybe that's the story of this team, is like when we get stuff done, we get it done as a team. We get it done collectively, you know, and because so many people contributed on that drive to put points on the board.
Damien, and then I'll have.
Brent, how would you describe your initial reaction when you learned that Casino del Sol was not only in the play for the naming rights, but would ultimately become the new name of the stadium?
What was my reaction?
Your initial reaction, yeah.
Awesome. Let's go. Fantastic. Fantastic. Because to me, what they're doing, their commitment is telling us how much they believe in what's happening here at the University of Arizona. That's what's exciting about it. For someone to step up on that level and want to partner with us, you know, building this thing together, fantastic.
Eliab, and then back up front to Michael.
Hey, Coach, back here. So we know the football fandom in Tucson has evolved, you know, over the past few years. For you, what's it been like to experience that growth at now Casino del Sol Stadium and just feel that throughout the year?
Well, it's awesome. You know, I think when I think about that crowd we had at homecoming and in different stages of this career where I felt like the fan support and the crowd really impacted the outcome of the game, I think that's so important for us because in this conference you play in so many venues that are really challenging to play in. The one we were in last Saturday, really, really challenging to play in because of how people show up and how much they care. And you know that is here in the city of Tucson and how it feels about the University of Arizona. And so watching that, and I think naturally it comes when we play better football, people are more excited to come to the games. I understand that, you know what I mean? What we're trying to get our fan base into the headspace of like, we need you there no matter what. So that because they have a direct impact on the outcome of the game. Otherwise, home field advantage would be nothing. No one would care. The NFL wouldn't play for it. It wouldn't matter, right? But home field advantage means something because that crowd can have a direct impact on your opponent. And that's what we want them to do this Saturday versus Baylor.
Our last two will be Michael and then Justin.
Yeah, I know we're not supposed to ask multi-part questions anymore, but these two things are sort of inextricably linked. The cameras showed you after maybe the second missed field goal, you seemed very irked about some element of the field goal operation. I assume that was not directed toward Michael Salgado Medina. So what was it directed toward, and then how did you kind of, you know, help?
That was the one that was blocked.
Yeah. Okay.
That was the one that was blocked. And so I saw where it came from, and so I was trying to figure out why that happened. Now, that being said, that kid from Cincinnati made a hell of a football play. He cut the corner, extended. It was really well done. Really well done.
And then with Michael, we've kind of been down this road before where maybe he's had a miss earlier in the game and he comes back later in the game and redeems himself. Do you talk to him at all during the game to try to boost him up? Do you try to stay away from him? How do you just kind of handle that? And
I'm always positive with him. Because, like, I'm a really crappy golfer. Are you a good golfer? Okay. Yeah, I don't really play either, but I suck. Like, it's embarrassing. Okay? And so, but I know that, like, when I'm playing and I'm playing poorly, if someone is telling me how poorly I'm playing, it's hard for it to get better. You know what I mean? It doesn't really work that way. And I think all football players are confidence players. You know what I mean? And so I'm going to choose to believe in that kid in that moment. Right? I'm going to choose to believe in him. Now, what the outside world does, whatever. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about my relationship with Michael. And so I'm going to choose to believe in him in that moment. And let's be honest. The heat on that last kick, after you've missed one and had one blocked, and now you're out there, you're up 3, there's 1:40 to go, and you have to hit a 51-yarder on the road in that stadium, and that place was rocking. And he drills it. Like, that's what I'm excited about. I mean, that was big time by that kid. And he's still a young player. I think the difference is when a field goal kicker misses a kick, like it's such a big result or such a negative result that people have such a crazy reaction to it, right? Where if we drop a pass or we miss a tackle or whatever, like, okay, you know what I mean? But The hard part about the field goal kicker is that you don't get to go out there right away and play the next play, right? It's just that one play. And so I was really proud of Michael, how he responded. We've talked all season about responding with this football team. And in that moment, he responded so big time. And, up 6 from the minus 25 with a minute 34 is a lot different than up 3 from the 39. Is that right? With a minute 34. Very, very different situations in terms of playing defense. So we're really proud of him.
We'll finish up with Justin.
I'm also a crappy golfer too.
Okay.
We'll be good partners.
No Spice Girls today?
No Spice Girls today.
All right.
So, there's a lot of memorable moments for Noah Fida throughout his time here. We saw that on Saturday, setting the record and getting the win. From your time working with him, what is the one moment that stands above the rest?
So I think instantly I went to the moment he told me he was going to stay. Now that was 2 years ago, or maybe not quite 2 years ago, but I'd been on the job for 48 hours. And him and T-Mac shut the door in my office and said they were going to stay. Now, there's been lots of other great moments and some hard moments in there, I think that speaks more to the journey of being a major college quarterback. You know what I mean? It's not always, easy. It's not always, fun times out there. It's hard. The demands on him, the pressure, the public scrutiny, all that stuff. And all that young man does is work his tail off, show up every single day, lead the team, get up in front of the media, take the bullets when it doesn't go right. Like, he is everything that's right about it. You know what I mean? But, God, there's been so many great moments with him, like in game or even after game. Like, we had a great moment in the locker room after the game Saturday at Cincinnati because it was chaos in there and it's a super tight locker room. You know what I mean? Just like a lot of big people in a really small space. But we had a big hug and just like the joy of that moment was really, really special.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, bear down.
Thank you.